Just give me a minute. Not sure if I'm going to stay on very long, a little tired. A lot of information. I'm looking for a book that I cannot find tonight. I wanted to show you some numbers with your fingers. Also, I wanted to work on a little something with Fibonaccia. I'm looking right now to view something. Okay, continue. Okay, just wanted to see if this was working. I'm going to make this smaller over here. Okay, and let me go see if they let me come out on YouTube. Sometimes they don't let me open up the channel. Right now, the channel seems to be, let me see if I can share this with the next place. Okay, it's shared over there. Let me get rid of that. I have a comment. I have a comment here by, let me see where this is. There's a comment here. I really wish, here it is. Here it is. I really wish you weren't so gullible to believe lies like this. Jesus is the truth. Don't get distracted by made-up lies. The books were written on scrolls. The form on today's Bible and the breaks of the books are not original. They were made for convenience. The subject matter is what is important, not the layout of the book and the fiction from some people wanting attention. So this is what was written to me by Christ King 85. So somebody went out and used their name to tell somebody else what is fake and what is not fake. But since I work with words and not particularly what somebody says, but what comes out of a word, what comes out of a word. Welcome. I'm not really sure. I've got everything a little upside down. I have allergies. I left one of my books somewhere, two of my books here, one of my books here with information. So I have no excuses for anything, but I'm just going to go over some, just a basic guideline for Fibonacci. And I don't know really anything about Fibonacci. I don't know mathematics. I just know what I find in my work. And this little critter over here, every time I do my work, has to block everything. Right? You think you can leave my desk alone? Hey, you think you can leave my desk alone? Or I'm going to pat you? Hey, is that what you want? You like that, eh? You like that? You like that? You like a little bit of attention? The cat, you know, they say everything is relevant. If we're created, hold on, I just want to correct this. And this is the way I want to look at it. Just give me a second. Now, don't take my word for the last word, because it's not. I only give you my perspective based on words, what the numbers say, what the word is created into numbers. The 9 lives of the cat. I do not know who's ever said this. I don't know where it comes from. It's something I heard. I already know that on the keyboard that the pound key is where 9 goes, not particularly just the number 9, but the pound key. 9 lives of the cat. I also know that the number 24 that says CAT, which is also C3, A1T20, 2 plus 0 is 2. I now have ABC inside a cat. I also know the mathematics of 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to 8 and 6. And whoever created this has the same mathematical results as the game of craps. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 plus 4 is 6. And the reverse of 6 and 8 is 35, or 3 and 5. I didn't do this. The reverse of 3 and 3, 6 is 44. Mass, space, teen, division of night and day and rotation of the sun, and the last number. Why is it the last number? Why is it in rotation of the sun? Because the numeric value that comes out of this of 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 will equal to 6 and 9. In the artwork, it creates a star, okay? This will create 16 and 8. 16 and 8 is 1/3 and 1/3 and 1/3. So if I have 1/3 and 1/3, I look at this cube. When I hold it north and south, I've got 1/3 of the cube. Then I have 1/3 here and 1/3 here. That means the ring becomes 2/3 and the pole becomes 1/3. It's just ironic that pole equals to 48, ring equals to 48, SON sun equals to 48, 84 equals to Pluto, which is the 9th planet, or the 9th finger to the 4th finger of Mars. 9 by 4 is 36, 9 and 4 is 13, and 13 is where man comes out, the completion of what is boy going into manhood at 169 moons ending, because man actually becomes man at his bar mitzvah, and his H, and when you write his instead of IS 9 and 19 is 28. The word man is number 28. Man at 169 moons passing on the 13th year is 13 by 13 equals to what is 169 moons, because there's 13 moons a year. Birthday bar first down in Jimmy John bag 32. Please explain to me, because I'm not following. How are you, sir? How are the numbers sitting there in LV? LV. So let me blow my nose. Keep this cat company. Been a while since I've seen you here, Mr. Squatty. Just give me a minute. Just give me a little minute. Yeah, stay there, cat. Stay there. I'm just looking for my book. Let's see if I can find my book. Okay, so this is where we are. I usually get lost. I wish I had somebody here just to follow up on me, just like right over here, and besides me continuing to go back and look at where I got. So I don't even know, like, sometimes where to start. I should just go ahead and just continue on with my Fibonacci and not. There's just so much, just so much. This, and my little kitty cat would just give me a little room. I'm going to read you this piece of paper I got in 2005. I'm going to show you what happens to 99 numbers. Perhaps we're going to come out and try to understand a little bit more about 369 and the frequencies and what these numbers are all about, because there's answers for all of these numbers. Oh, here it is. I found what I was looking for. Here is what the cycle is from the Mayans. It's a grind. I call it the grindstone, where there's a section of 13 and a section of 7. 7 times 13 is 91. When you add up 1 through 13, it equals to 91. The deck of cards has 13 cards of different denominations. We can either use it in the cards or we can use it in the suits. This is a division, right? I forget what it is, what that divisional number is. I think it all divides by 7, right? Or it all divides by 9. I forget which one. I don't want to go on to this one directly. The 1 month of 28 days, the 7 months of 30 days, the 4 months of, the 7 months of 31 days, the 4 months of 30 days, 17 Q gate to Mars, 74 Jesus, 74 energy, 47 time. Man is 28 inside the E world. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 85 is matrix. 52 is earth. In the heavens of the bait. 2 is actually 7. and 5 is now 4. So 7 and 4 fits inside here. In fact, it's 7, 1, 4 that fits inside here. Bringing this to 9, 7 and 2 is 9, 8 and 1 is 9, 4 and 5 is 9. Now this 3, 9, and 6, in order to bring it to 1, 4, 7, 3 and 1 is 4, 9 and 1 is 1, 6 and 1 is 7, bringing it back to 1, 4, and 7. And then we go down to here. 4 and 1 do not come out to be what is 1, 4, and 7, but 4 and 1 come out to be this section over here comes over here. 5 and 2 is 7. 8 and 2 is 1. 2 and 2 is 4. 3, where am I? 3 and 4 is 7. 3 and 7 is 10 is 1. 4 and 1 is 5. So it changes with number 4. Number 4, A, B, C. And once you go to D, the fourth one becomes inverted. A, B, C, and then inversion. A, B, C, and then inversion. So at the same time, rotation, when things are turning, you'll always have 3. And then once you get to the fourth one, the third one disappears. So what this does over here and over here, okay, is what happens. It's hard to work around my cat. No excuses. Is when we bring this calculator out, okay, and we cross 7 over to 6 is 13, or we cross 4 over to 3 is 7. This is all 7 and 13. I connect 1 over to 6, 1 over to 6, and then I connect 4 over to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I connect to the outside of what is 1, to the outside of what is 1, all the way down into 6. You see this line coming across over here? And then I draw the straight lines down and it creates this. The difference over here to the single pane and the double pane, right, is that in this section over here, what happens is 1, 4, 7, 10. In roulette, the 10 is black. And in roulette, when I come down here to the single pane, is number 28, and that's black. 2 and 8 is 10, and 2 and 8 is also a black number. So that's how I create that using the 7, 6, 13 and the 4, 3, 7, using to what is 4 and 9, 13, and 6 and 1 is 7. So that is what this, so this crisscrosses in. I'm trying to see where I should go with this next. In the center, 8 and 5 is 13, 2 and 5 is 7, 8 and 2 is 10, like 9 and 8 and 2 is 10. Do I have the same, what's it called? I'm going on, and secondly, sorry, I don't want to say that. Going on this angle keeps I have a rectangular shape. You notice the way the angle is here? Everything's on an angle. Okay, so that's just something really small. When I read this, I'm just going back over certain things just because this is something that I printed out in 2007, December 22nd. And I'm just adding this in because I've never added this in before. It has nothing to do with numbers. But it says, by a separate process based in a biblical chronology, my research had led me to conclude that an important event in sacred history had occurred on October 14th, 1963. Remember, levels, level up and level down, 14, 1, and 4, 5. So first it starts at October 4th, 14th, 24th is a gate. There is no 34th, so that will become the next month, or we start over in the same month to see where it takes us in rotation of the numbers. According to papal prophecy, 75 years was allotted to Satan to destroy the church. Importantly, and just let me tell you, I'm reading off of this sheet over here that I picked up online, Newsvine, the good Antichrist, born October 14th, 1963. See the way I wrote down the 4th? According to papal prophecy, can I read it this way? Hold on a second, let me see. According to the papal prophecy, let me get this, my cat's in the way, so let me try and see if I can. Let me see if I can get this closer. According to the papal prophecy, 75 years were allotted to Satan to destroy the church. Importantly, the recounting does not indicate how Satan intended to do this, only that he was given the time and power. The prophecies does not specify what is meant by destroy. Remember, destroy, you don't have to spell it that way. It could be Troy, meaning ounce, meaning what do you count in ounces as in to be what is Troy, and D, 4 and 5, equaling to what is the sun. There is a pass in the sun. Whatever destiny means in a clear that is to occur under the superintendence Jesus Christ himself. Hence, I am to believe that the nature of destruction comes in the form of a great test or transition or both. I calculated the time by adding 75 years to September 25th, 1888. 1888, or how about 888 and 888 equals 16, 16 and 16. 1 and 6 is 7, 7, 7. Or if you invert 1888 to 8881, it would become 9779 or 959. This is the birth date of the Jewish Antichrist Messiah. I have spent thousands of hours studying the Bible and prophecies. I'm almost finished writing The Dark Messiah, The Coming of the Antichrist. The book identifies the Antichrist according to the biblical standards of the signs of wonders, the research. My research led me to a number of shocking conclusions. For example, the Bible teaches the advent of two messiahs. The Antichrist is the second of these two. Another conclusion, the character and work of the Antichrist Messiah has been mistaken by various Antichrist traditions as part of the last grand scheme to test the faith of the faithful of each of the world's three monotheistic religions. According to 829, Antichrist is predicted to be conformed to the image of Jesus Christ, for whom did foreknow. He also blah, 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 blah. And then in red, where it says there will be many similarities between Jesus and the Antichrist and so forth. So what they're talking about. So since those days of 1963, right, to the year 2023 is, guess what? 60 years. 60 is the last number when calculating numbers, according to my little game that I created. It's the ABC of all the alphabet, every single word, every single dot, every single dash, and every single game that ever existed, for every single mathematical equation that comes from games that are played, from cards and dice, roulette and craps, from hockey to baseball and soccer and football, from darts to pool and bowling and many and all of the games, from football, from the 4 downs to the touchdown of 6 points, to the 6 days of creation, to the 1 point, the extra point, to the 3 parts of creation, 313 creation inside or within what they call the moon child, born into the light of the sun angels, sun 10, 10 equals to 39, 39 equals to angel. There's nobody watching right now, and I really wanted to stay here and put my heart out, but it's a little hard when nobody's here, but you know what? That's okay. Where else am I going? So we have 60 years. So now the number, right, the last basic number in numbers is 66 and 1. And one of the reasons for that is I like to follow what the cube tells me I can do. The hexagon of creation, hexagon, cube, hexagon. When you start to do the artwork, you will see that by putting a Y inside of a hexagon, it'll turn out to be a cube. As well, we need full formality, which is 3 sides opposite 3 sides. So again, back to 3 again. All about 3. So the first addition in the first side of the second side. Let me see if I'm going to explain this properly. You might have 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. The numeric value that is half of what is 9, or the invert to what is 1, 2, 3, 4, is 9, 8, 7, 9, 8, 7, 6. So 6 and 4 are on each side of 5. I'm just trying to see if you can understand that. Since 4 and 6 are on each side of 5, and 1, 2, 3 is creation, we're going to eliminate 1, 2, 3, and 9, 8, 7. Which 9 and 1, 8 and 2, 7 and 3. 2 and 8, by the way, is beta, heaven, man, number 28, in the 28-day cycle of the moon. Of 1 and 9, where DC, where AC/DC comes in, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, equals to 3 and 4. 3 times 4, 3 plus 4 equals to 12, and 7 equals to 19. Now 12 is 1 and 2 is 3, and 7, and those are the next two tens. So we're playing with 4 and 6. And what's ironic about 4 and 6, although 1.5 times 4 is 6, or 3 to 2, what is 4 is 6, and the payout in blackjack is 21. And on the cube, we have 21 dots. Formality base. This is not the end result. Where was I here next with this? Welcome. Wow. Every time somebody comes on and I just toward my head towards thinking of something else. Yeah, so now we have 4 and 6. So 4 times 6, 4 plus 6 equals to 24 and 10. 24 is the separation of the gate, and 10 is the gate that we are separating. As angels, we're coming together in two sides. It's 5 and 5. Freedom 55, the freedom pass. And I think I'm going a little bit too quick, and I should have wrote it down. I should go back onto Fibonacci. Let me see what you wrote down over here. I'm trying to see. All I saw was your, oh, let me see this. Okay, I'm not really understanding, but that's okay. I know that my mind might know, but I might not know. The base combinations of these numbers are right over here. When 1, 2, 3 comes together, let's see if did I write this down? I think I wrote it down on another page again. Let me see this. When I go backwards to talk about stuff, I'm never sure if I get it in the right order. So much as there's just so much. Okay, we're just going to do it this way. Here, we might see 1, 2, 3, but at the same time, we're going to see 6, 5, and 4, making all 7s, right? At the same time, we're going to get 8, 7, and 6, 21. 21, and we go over here, 21. When we go over here, we're going to get 6, 4, 8. This one will be coming out of the sun, 6, 4, 8. Where do I get that from? If we go to Rubik's Cube, I don't know where my Rubik's Cube is right now. Oh, here it is. If I go to Rubik's Cube, every single side is 9. So whatever is missing to make up 9 is where I get my numbers. 864, okay? 8640 divided by 2 is 432 vibration. 864 is the numeric value for the sun. 864 is a numeric value for how many seconds there are in a day. 3 times 864 equals 25,920, which is the Mayan long count cycle. 1, 3, and 5 says AC and ACE. SUN, S19, 1 and 9 equals to 10 equals to 1. U equals to 21, 2 and 1 equals to 3. N equals to 14, 1 and 4 is 5. So the sun comes in at the diameter of the sun, and what matches up to the cycle of the Mayans at the same time the seconds in a day, and where it takes 3 days in order to match up to the numeric value for the Mayan, and then everything flips upside down. 3 days and 1 day and 3 days. There's only 3 basic realities, 3 and 6. Once you have 3, you have 3 opposites. So you're going to have 3 and 3. So you're going to have 3 and 3. You're going to have 3 and 3, or 3 opposites. The other thing I was talking about right at the beginning is where your 33 comes together. It's right over here. See the line here, and the line here, and the line here. Don't count the line in the center. You have 6 here. One straight line here, going and coming, going and coming, going and coming. That's 6, and then boom, we connect the 8th one over here, locking up both of them. This is actually number 9 and number 6 created by 3 times 3. 3 plus 3 is 6 and 9. We are now going to be, this year is the first year since 1963 that we are going to hit 60s of the 60s for the ABC in the formation of 10. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is actually 10 plus 20 plus 30 equals to 60. Your inverted rotation is 40 equals to what is 100. So if we go 1, 2, 3 equals to 6, we go 4, 3, 2 reverse equals to 9. And now we have our 9, 6 in rotation of the sun. So we go 4, 3, 2. Now if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, our complete rotation is 10. But we can only use either 1, 2, 3 or 4, 3, 2, but we can't use all 4 because once we use all 4, we flip over. It's one side with the orange, 2 sides the green, 3 sides the red, and look at that, we ended up with the blue. Let me see if I got that right. Blue, orange, green. What do you think's next? Blue, red. Hold on. Blue is 1. Orange is 2. Green is 3. Red is 4. We have gone from orange and we completely flipped over here. So what is our 3? Watch. I'm going to keep my finger on this. So we're going to see here. Then I'm going to see here. And then I'm going to see this one over here. And boom, I repeated over here. So you're only going to see 3 sides. And on the 3rd side, we're going to see the opposite of this side. I'm trying to see if I can exactly explain this. So I'm going to have to go from here to here to here. I cannot use the opposite side. Otherwise, I've doubled up on the same side. So let's see. I go here, and I go here, and I go here. I don't use the other side. I'm obligated to change my angle because then I'm going to be repeating. I'm going to be going to the mirror side. So I'm not going to do that. That's one of the understandings. I use one of my equations. I don't know where my book went right now. The other thing is the French, when they say, when they count to 100, the French, they actually change their complete counting when they get to 69, because when they get to 70, they're going to say 60 and 10. When they get to 80, they're going to say 4 times 20. And when they say 90, they say 4 times 90 and 10, because your base creation explanation is 1 through 20. And after that, we start again. Instead of AB, it's now BA. As well, when you say A or 1 or first or gold, the next time you'll repeat this is when you get to 21. 2 and 1 equals to 3. 2 plus 1 equals to 2. 2 plus 1 equals to 3. 2 times 1 equals to 2. 3 and 2 is 5. We come into the E world at 21. 21 blackjack, 21 dots on the cube. But the actual thing is that if I would be drilling holes in this, I would end up with 24 holes. Sorry, I would end up with 34 holes. Right now I have 21 holes. I'll end up with 34 holes. The difference between 21 and 34 is 13. Man born bar mitzvah, man born on the moon, 28 cycle of the moon by 3 equals to what is 84. This is very, very, very confusing. I've been doing this for 19 years. I 100% believe, and I can see what I'm talking about. Sometimes it doesn't come across or I don't explain it right. It doesn't mean I've told the wrong story. Just sometimes I get a little farmished. Let's just put it that way. But it works out exactly all the time. Just sometimes I just don't say it right. So I just think we need to be taking notes. We need to create a program. So now that I said all this again, I sort of lost my place. So yes, we have 21 dots and we have 33 voided areas. Noted that 33 is also for the word mass. The inverted is 33 is 44. The 3 and 2 I was telling you about, 3 times 2 equals to 6. The 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 is 6 and 9, 15, the letter O. The 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 equals to 16 and 8, 24x. We have Fox, 666. Our vibration of 432 inverted to 234 and 666, counting backwards the Hebrew way, will equal to a 90-degree angle, 90 representing January. Remember, J is a very important. J is the 10th letter. Reverse is Q17. Where do we get Q? We get Q in so many places. I'm going to have to, I'm not working on that right now. What is Q? Q is the 17th letter in the alphabet. But yes, there's more than one alphabet. You can tell me all kinds of stories you want, but we're working on one story at a time. You want to talk about this? We'll talk about this. It's going to be another story. If I talk about base, it's 1. If I talk about, if I talk about base, skeleton, it's 1. Otherwise, it's 3. When I invert my 1, it becomes 6, which is 3 and 3. So if I would shift the alphabet over here, the alphabet would no longer start on 1A. The alphabet, hold on a second. The alphabet A1, Z26 is now going to be A6, Z31. And what's ironic is we've shifted the 26 letters. And if you want to go 10 numbers, you want to say 10 numbers, we're not going to do that. We're just going to say this. What happens is you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. They're going to be eliminated. A, B, C, D, E, right? And we're going to start on F6 with the A letter. So if I'm going to do that, I'm also going to do 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one equals to 15. This one over here, adding up 2 through 6. And please note that on the cube, if you have 2 and 6 on one side, you have 5 and 1 on the other side. And here you have 48, and here you have 73. If you're asking what that is, 1, 2, 1, let me see, hold on a second. Right. If you have 6 areas, 3, 6, you have 3 left over. If you have 2 areas, you have 7 left over. You see the way it sort of makes the letter P? But it's these 2 areas here creating this 8 in the center over here. So you're going to have this and 9 and 9 and 9 and 9. This equals to 8 and 10. This equals to 6 and 3. This equals to 77. 2 and 5, 7. 6 and 1, 7. This is the voided area. 11, 11. In the voided area, 7 and 15 comes together. I have to get a glass of water. Give me a minute. Okay, let me just read. Let me read this over here. The Pan's TAC 33 sexadecimal 37 alpha dex. I'm going to tell you one thing. I can see it. I see the pattern. I see that everything's been working out for the last 5 years, approximately, stronger and stronger, more and more. I've been able to figure out all these things. It's not that hard, but it's not that easy to explain it. Everything works out. Everything fits somewhere. We need to get this into a program because I'm just going to see one thing. Let me just see one thing. The golden ratio, right? And let me just see where it came from. Who told me this? I just want to see who told me this. Comments. Okay, here. I just want to see. Just give me a second. Okay. So the Fibonacci, I'm going to go over this Fibonacci, and right away I put a comment on it, and somebody says, only the Bible is right. Only the scrolls are right. Why is everybody so old school? Why is everybody old school? Don't you know we move forward in time? How do you want to teach the new people something that's old school? If we are the children of the Creator, do you not think that the Creator is going to teach from the beginning to the end? That should anything be manipulated from the beginning to the end, even those coming into the Creator's system will not be able to change the base format. Old Mother Hubbard sat in the cupboard, and the cupboard was bare. So we saw what happened here, right? It's identical. I shifted the alphabet from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't count the 30s. In this one, it's all zeros. All zeros will equal to what is Mars. It's Mars, and it's the quarter planets. Why? Because 0 is the 15th letter, and 15 is 1/4 of what is 60. It's either 10, 20, 30 equaling to 60, or it's 40, 30, 20 equaling to 90. What is in rotation of 33, or 6 and 9, or 60 and 90, 150 if you want to look at it that way, or 9 and 5 is 16, and this ends up to be 6. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. And 2 through 6 equals to 20. It equals to 170. Or how about 17Q, reverse alphabet 10J, like in Jesus? 1 and 1 is 2, and we end up to be in the house of bait. 2 letters, reverse equals to 27. When you're in that, you double it again, it becomes 54. We are now into the sun house. And that's why we get a sun 10, not a sun 10. When you invert these, the AE world, and the same thing that Elon Musk had done when he called his child Xe, not for nothing, because this is the base alphabet of A and E. And did you know that A and E are the first and the fifth letters? Did you know the average of 3 to 1 and 5, or what is 1, 3, and 5, is also to note these letters over here, or 864, are the number of the diameter of the sun, or the number of minutes in a day, seconds in a day, to what is the long count of the Mayan calendar of 25,920. To where it runs in sections of 13 areas and 7 areas inside of this one of their grindstones. 13 times 7 equals to 91. And when you add 1 to 13, it equals to 91 AI. And now when you multiply 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals to 3 and 4 DC CD blue, which equals to 12 and 7 equaling to what is 19. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 plus 4 is 7 equals to 19, to where number 37 shows up as it's part of the moon cycle. When you multiply it by 3, it equals to 111. So when you multiply 37 by times 3 equals to 111. Now, if you go 1 adding up to 36, it equals to 666. The heart of this is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, which equals to 57, which equals to 60, but they crisscross at 37 and 37 and 37 to what is 666, and this one over here equals to 111, so it becomes 555, and 111 equals to 666. To note that when you reach number 15 all the way to here, 1 through 15 equals to 120. This is just by memory, right? Plus when you have 16 through 21 equals to 111, right? Equals to 2, 3, 1, the reverse ABC, the beginning. So now when you go count from 22 over to 36, it will equal to 435 or 345 DC in the E world, because everything seems to be divided by number 5 to where you're 1, 2, 3, 4, to where you're 6, 7, 8, and 9, to where this is where 30 creation comes in, and it becomes 1030 or 1 and 3. 103 is September. 103 is also Mercury. Also to note that if you wrote Mars down, 51, and you wrote Earth down, 52, you would end up with 103 or 13. Noted that the 10th number is a J and the third one is a C for JC, or possibly Jesus Christ, where Jesus is number 74 and Christ is 77. When you add them together, it equals to 151, to where Mars is 51, to where you add them to a single digit, you end up with 14 and 11, where K and N come together. The explanation of this is when the NK come together in letters, to where you add this, it becomes 52, and the numeric value for Earth is 52. To where matter is 77, minus 20 equals to 57, which is the numeric value for the word Heinz. 57, which the invert to the word Heinz is Mars. 51. Over each other is 18 to a single digit. And that the word Heinz, when you take the H and you take an I and you take an N and a Z, you end up with the star window. HINZ creates that star. Heinz 57. When you divide it by 3, also to note that the moon is numeric value 57, which is 3 times 19 equals to 57. To where the numeric value for time is 47. The numeric value for energy is 74. Where matter we got 77, and energy we minus 5 to become in rotation of 69, in rotation of the sun. Why did I minus this? Because it's 57 plus T and it's 69 plus E. And now you put together your ET because there's double letters of each. ET comes together, valued at 25 is the word Jack, the word Earth, and the multiplication will equal to what is your Q gate. In reverse, what is your Jack? J for the 10th letter, Q for the 17th letter, 7 for what is the G letter, and 10 for what is the J letter. Coming into the 7th inning stretch. Also to note that if you actually wrote the word king and you were looking at different ways people write it, some people write king this way. When you write it this way, it actually can be looking like this or like this if you want. The N looks like a 2, but we're just going to keep the N together, and this would look like a 6 because the G often looks like a 6. So either you have 6, the G is the 7th letter. Noted that Earth, 5 and 2 is 7, to where Mars, 5 and 1 is 6. If I multiply it, it becomes 5 and 1. So we got all of this. So now in Jesus 74, we're going to take 19 away from this, and we're going to go J E, which also means I in French, is Jésus, which Jésus is also known as I have received, ou j'ai eu. So when you do this, it becomes 55 plus 19 equals to 74. Jesus is the way because sky is 55 and pass is 55. When you do the multiplication, in this, you end up with 25 and 10, which is 5 times 5 and 2 times 5, which is talking about this numeric value over here. Now, since I mentioned 7 and 10, where 10 in French is actually saying Sunday. And also when you play baseball, they go dimanche, the 10th inning. The 7th inning stretch, there are 18 and 21 outs. 39 represents the word 10, an angel. It's also the inverted to what is Saturn, 93. At the same time, it's 3 by 13. Man equals to 39, or 31 times 3 equaling to 93. To where you get 31 and 13 and 31 equaling to what is, let me do this, 75. 75 is electric. And 13 and 31 and 13 equals to 57. And now you have moon, or Heinz, or you can use Heinz. And it's just ironic that, yes, it's always just going to be ironic that now you can say he or me or matter and energy in the heavens of birth, New Zealand in creation. This will be the bricks coming together. When we create the bricks, you can look at bricks like that, or we can do bricks another way. And that's why the word bricks is coming out right now for the new acceptance of the transition, where we can create a number 5. And then we're going to do a number 2. And then we're going to do a number, let me see. Then we're going to do a number 5. And then what we're going to do, let me see where I am. Then I'm going to do over here another number 2. So I got 5, 2, 5, 2, and we've created this so far. Right? And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do another 5. And I'm going to do another 2. And we have 5 and 2. And we have 5 and 2. You have B and E. House of Bait. 20th letter is also T. The same time when you do that, I'm just going to show you that when you do this over here, and this over here, and this over here, okay, and now we're going to come back and do one over here, and we're going to get one over here. When you take this into account, you have created the I over here. And if you continue to take it into account, you turn it this way, it's the H. So the birth is in the heavens through the window of Mars in the star system. And that's where I get my high 52. Note that high is 89, becomes 8, 9, 5, and 2 are those numbers. And it is the Q gate. This will create 17. And this is 17, created from 18 or 81, which is square Venus. So now this one is ironic because what happens, and I'll get back to that soon, is that 5775, time is 47, and energy, etc., right? And what happens when you do the multiplication of 5 by 7 equals to 35, and 5 plus 7 equals to 12, the total equals to 47, just too ironic, and it says 5G. And at the same time, it's not only 5G, but the 20th letter is T, and the 22nd letter is V. So it becomes 5G TV. The inverted to this, okay, is equal to 5G. G&E, General Electric. Also to note, it becomes the numeric value for the moon. Now, when you multiply this by 13, is 13 moons a year in the calendar they have put forward to us. On base average of this plus the add-ons and extras, we're not working with add-ons and extras, comes up to 75,075. That when you multiply these two, you end up with 47 and 47 equals to 94 Uranus. So this is another sun era, or universal sun ra. whichever way you want to use this. And this becomes also the 7th inning stretch, 18 and 21 outs. So when you do this and you put it together, it becomes 11-11 if you want to look at it that way. 671 minutes. 660, 671, Mars and Earth. And this, when you have 1, it means it's the center of all. When you have 1, you have this. When you have 2, you're going to have this. It shows it right over here. 1 and 2. So I'm going to need to use these 2 corners over here. And I connect it with this one. I connect it with that one. So this one is going to be Mars. And this is going to be Earth. So this will be Earth 7 in the house of Bait, in the spirit of Mars. And this one over here is going to be 6 in the spirit of 76. When you're playing craps, you put down 6, you put down Mars to win Earth coins. So at the same time that we have done this, where am I? You done? Did I get this right? Hold on. At 47. What happens is when you multiply it, it does this, equaling to 39. So now through time and the creation passage of the moon, in the 13 cycles of man, you end up with 39 angels of 10 at the gateway in Q. The only dice cube that will show me 7 is this one here. If I drill the hole in this, I'm going to drill the holes again. I end up with, instead of 21 and 33 void, I end up with 34 dot and 20 void. 7 and 2 in the house of Bait. Win a big red sun. Why win a big red sun? 14 and 9 equals to 23. This one's the letter N. This one's the letter I. This one's the letter W. Win. Where does win big come from? The 2 is a B. The 7 is a G. Win big. Number 27 equals to red. Win big red. 27 and 27 equals to 54 for sun. Also equals to 45, which is the word fox, or 666 is the total of the 6 and 15 and 24 to what is 6, 6, and 6. Where else am I with this? Blah, blah, blah. We were talking about the 7th inning stretch. We were also talking about the 10th inning. What happens is when the home team wins a game, right? And it doesn't go into extra innings. Just let me just check my, right. I don't know why it's not clear. So let me wipe it on my screen. Maybe I touched it. Okay. When it goes into extra, when the home team wins, we're going to use baseball. By using baseball, 51 outs, when the game is over, what has happened? There was 27 outs and there were 24 outs. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, 8 and 6. 2 times 7, 2 plus 7, 14 and 9. See in the rotation? This one over here is rotation inside the sun, in the heavens, the divided heavens between 6 and 8. Your 33 is over here in artwork. 9. And there's probably other ways to do this too. I don't have them all done. Only got 19 years doing this. And this was my 6. So this is my 6 and 9. Shows the percentage sign. Since it's showing my 6 and 9, the percentage sign, it's showing me that, let me see if did I do this right? No, not here. It's showing me that we split up our numbers at 5 to where we're going to eliminate these 3 and we're going to eliminate these 3. In the heavens that we are born through the gateway. 6 is 1 more than 5. 4 is 1 less than 5. We end up with 1, B 1 1000, 10 10 10, 9 and 1 10, 8 and 2 10, 3 and 7 10, playing with 24 and 10 equaling inside the house of DC 6 and 1, 2 and 4 6, 1 and 0, A B C D 1 2 3 4 added is 10, reverse Q. Inside 24, this is the division of the 6 and 8. The 6 and 8 is what divides the cube. Here is where that 8 is through that 6 and 9, your 3 by 3 and your 3 plus 3. When we continue the artwork over here, so now we have 6, 6, and now we're going to create another one, 6. And we're going to go 9, 9, 9. And this is where we have our rotation over here. And if we take a look, I have a complete line going down the center 1, another line going down here, and spinning around on the core, spinning around on the core right over here. So this is spinning around the core. Now it locks into the core when you connect the fourth line in between here, rocking around the core with 6, and 8 locks in the heavens between the above, like above is below, and it locks it in right over here. Heaven's high help. So we did this over here, the 34 dots, this, that, this, that. At the same time, I didn't mention this. When we're doing this 13, 31, 13, right? Before we do this, trying to remember where I was with rotation. Hold on a second. I'm thinking. Right, where we end up with the 34 dots over here. Just want to see 34 and 20. We got 7 and 2, house of bait, when a big red sun. I'm missing something. I don't remember what it was. The 8, I'll come back to it. The 8, the queen, the 7, the king, and the 6 is the jack. The jack gets earth, the king gets the DNA, and the queen gets the cube. This is where the passage in the sun and your DNA comes in. This is where your Q gate comes in Mars. Q gate. Let me see why Q, because it creates 10 and 7 equals to 17, equals to 9, equals to 20, 2, 9, and 8. And it just so happens that in the deck of cards, only the 2, only the 9, and only the 8. Okay, only the 2, only the 8, and only the 9. These are the only cards. And the reason for that is because the ace is inside the 9 and the 5 is inside the 9. So I no longer need the ace and the 5. Now in the 8 is the 7 and the 6. I forgot, hold on. In the 9 is also the 4. So what have I eliminated so far? I've eliminated the ace, the 5, the 4, the 7, and the 6. So what's left over? I'm left over with the 3. 3 is a special card. And here's the 3. And the reason I don't use the 3 is because this dot is being represented over here in the 9. So I'm keeping the 2. So the 3 is separated. That is our base creation. So you keep the 2 in, you come into it through your birth, and then you live in the heavens. This is where your 6 and 7 come in. So how many cards we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. 10, let me see, hold on, I'm missing one. The Jack, the Queen, the King, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm missing a card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I'm missing the 10 card. The 10 card is basically another card we have to watch for. I'm never sure which way to do it. See, in the 10 card, right, it replicates itself. The 10 card replicates itself. It has these 5 up and these 5 down. And now we connect them together and we can see the hexagon is now joining both areas through the one birth over here to where the 8 is connected over here. And the 2 is expressed to the two sides of the game. It's base A, B, C is your base. And then you're played with the 9 and the 8. And 9 and 8 equals to 17, and 2 equals to what is 19. When you multiply it, it becomes 144. Then when you add it, it becomes 163. 613 laws of Moses, if you want to look at it that way. I'm going to just stop. I'm still not remembering where I was with the piece I missed. El Paso, Cat Pass, El Paso. I like that. El Gato, El Paso. Very good. Because gato, right? When you write out, what I was taught is when you're sending an email, right? You say the @ sign. The @ sign is found on the number 2 key on my keyboard, North American keyboard. I need to use that. NA 1 through 14. The O, say, can you see? So where are we sending the mail? We're sending to either O, or if it's backwards, we're sending it through the gate through O. O is 6, Mars, G, Earth. Where are we sending it at? Blackjack 21 through the cube. 1 through 20 equals to 210. That cube is inside the moon. Why? Because when you say 201, 102, we don't count the 6. All O's or all zeros are the 15th letter, and it's equal to 6. The thing I wanted to finish right now that I started 2 minutes ago is the centralization of the movement of the centralization of the alphabet. And what we did by doing this, right, is we moved the alphabet all the way into the A6 position to where it centers into 360 degrees, to where A is 60 and Z is 310 inside the moon, World War Z. 6 and 4 come together, and it is 6 and 4 that is the core right over here. Your 6 and 4 is your core, right? Plus 1, you want to start with 1? Well, we're starting with 1 from 5. Plus 1 minus 1 creates the M. Now, the M is also noted. If I take the M and I do it this way, I'm looking at 4, 5, and 6. And if I look at 4, 5, and 6, I'm looking at DEF. Right now, if I go to the telephone, I will find this on number 3 in creation. So when we start with this is my 10, this is my 15, this is my 21. 1, 3, 6. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6. 1, 3, 6. When I reverse my count, just give me a second. I have to revert my count. Let me do it on another page. Four, 5, and 6, D, E, and F, to where 1, 2, and 3, A, B, C, to where 7, 8, and 9, G, H, and I, to where this one over here is going to be what is 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28. See, we reach 36 right over here. And then the fox pass into the sun is when we reach 45. And when you add up 1 through 9, it equals to 45. And the average with this is equal to 9 times 5 equals to 45. This one over here is going to be 36 divided by 8 equals to 4.5, or 28 divided by 7 equals to 4. So when we get over here, we have 8 times 4.5 equals to 45. 32, sorry, no, that's wrong. 8 times 36 divided by 8 equals to 4.5. Okay. 28 divided by 7 equals to 4. 21. 21 divided by 6 equals to 3.5. I have to there's hold on a second. 36 divided by 8 equals. So we have, let me get this right. 36 divided by 8 equals 4.5. 8 times 4.5 equals to 36. Why did I write this down like that? Made a mistake. Right. And we get that. So then when we go to 21, it's this. We go to 15. Okay. It would be 5 divided by 5 equals to 3. So we have 5 times 3 equals to 15. So this is going to be putting all your numbers into proportion, right? 8 times 4.5, 4. So then we go to over here. So we have 10. So 2.5 times 4 equals to 10. Then we got 6. So we have 3 times 2 equals to 6. Then we got 3. So we have 3 times 1 equals to 3. And then we got 1. We have 1 times 1 equals to 1. You're okay, kitty cat? Just give me a minute. She's like, what's going on here? We're okay? Yeah? We're okay? Yeah? Okay. Okay, so now we're going to so now what we're going to do is we're going to add these up, and this one over here is going to equal to I'm just going to use this one over here, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to add up over here. I'm going to get to 15, and I'm going to add these up over here. I get to 24. This side, and this side. So if you want to look at the letters, it's Fox, and at the same time, it becomes 666. Our vibration of 432 or 234, if you want to revert it, and 666 ends up to be a 90-degree angle, also standing for January. So our alphabet has been repositioned as F6 and Z31, leaving out A, B, C, D, E, totaling to 15, leaving out numbers 32 and 33 and 34 and 35 and 36. And note, 1 through 5. 1 through 5. See this 2 through 6? 2 through 6. This and this and this is where the story's at. Plus the alphabet, plus games. Remember, 6 TD, 1 PA, 3 EP. Extra point, point after, and touchdown. 6 days of creation to the 1 point of the day of rest, to the breakup of inside what is man's creation, inside the moon and rotation of the sun. 6 times 3 equals to 18R in the Third Reich, times 3 equals to 54, the numeric value for the sun in the Third Reich. 3 plus 6 equals to 9, equals to the letter I. 3 by 9 equals to 27. That usually is the house of Bait, equals to 27. You can also use it for red, when a big red sun. Also to note, there's only 2 of these letters in the alphabet. Okay, there's only 2 of these letters. 1 and 8 is 9. The 1 is the one spirit that goes around. There's a circle that goes around here. There are 8 areas that goes around 1. Same thing as over here. But when you have that, you have to take into consideration all the separations. And there are 16 dots to 9 areas. Right? It's a total of 25. So 16 and 9, 4 to the power of 2, 3 to the power of 2 equals to what is 16 and 9? The total is 25. Let's just say Jack has a value of 25, where K recreates C. K will recreate C through 11. Now, what's funny is that the word 11 equals to 63. 6 and 3 is 9. Also to note that you say K9, the 9th letter. When you say K9, the 9th letter is I. The K is the 11th letter. You also do the same thing for the 9 lives of the cat. So the dog and the cat both refer to 9. So that what is 99? 99 can be the word 13. I'm using these for bases, or Jupiter. Note that the word tear also means earth. Not written this way, but what if you just hear it? The birth in the IT system of the sun. Remember, we sometimes use either combinations or first letter. What is the first letter beginning with the first letter? Or combinations of letters, because we do not say T over here. We use a combination of letters. When you use one letter, you're talking about that. When you use the combination of letters, we're going to be using that. We use 2, we're going to talk about Earth. We use 1, we're going to talk about Mars. Now, if we want to bring Mars into this, Mars only gets a single dot. Venus is over here. Mercury is over here. When we get the single dot, we end up with this. We get 9 and 4 represented in Uranus. The numeric value for Uranus is 9 and 4. And when I'm looking at this hand, this finger is the ring finger. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's not only the ring finger, it's also the birth finger. I wrote this out. I think I did in some previous videos of what the numbers of your fingers are and your digits and your toes. Sometimes it's what we see. Sometimes it's what we hear. I like to use English. I like to use French. Hebrew has taught me what 9 and 10 does in counting. French has taught me that when we count, this is what I want to talk about before, we have a base in counting, and it's 1 through 20. But there's changes in the 1 through 20. And one of the reasons, for what I understand, there's going to be changes over time. I'm still putting this together. It's only 19 years I'm doing this. What happens is when we say 11 and we say 1 or we say 21, something comes about that's just going to blow my nose again. Remind me of 21, 1, 11, 1 through 20. Remind me of that. Maybe I'll get a chance. I'll be able to jump into Fibonacci. The gold bricks, alphabet El Paso. So what happens is when you say 11, you say 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. You don't go first. So when the 1 is apparent in the English language, when the 1 is apparent, You go 21st. You don't go 21th. Like you don't go the 11th. You don't do that. And the separation of 3 cubes is 10 and 11. That's the separation of 2 cubes. When you have, 3 cubes. When you have 3 cubes, there's a game called Sickbo. And in the game, it taught me that the 3 dice separate their average between 10 and 11. Now, if I'm going to count 3 dice, I'm going to go 18. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Now I have to start doing that calculation, how they figured out that it was 10 and 11. You have 6, 6, and 5, 6, 6, and 6. So when you add up 1 through 18, you end up with 171. Again, back to the Q gates. You have 171. So when you add up 1 to 17, you end up with 154, is it? Did I get that right? 154? No, 153. So when you're at 17, 153, 15 being Mars, right? 31 being born on the moon, 135 saying ace, 135 saying sun, 135 is what is the invert, okay, to what is 2, 4, and 6 on the cube. They're the only ones with the center dot. The ones with the center dot. So 1 through 17, then you go 1 through 16, and then 1 through 15, and then 1 through 14, and then 1 through 13, and so on, and 1 through 12, and then 1 through 11. Now this is where it stops. After that, it's 1 through 10, 1 through 9, 1 through 8, 1 through 7, 1 through 6, 1 through 5, 1 through 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then, so this ends up to be 1 through 2 is, and 1 through 1 is 1. So this one would be 6, 10, 15, 21, 28, 36, 45, 55. You remember this number over here? Sky Pass comes over here once you reach this number over here in Mars. Now, when you add up over here, this becomes 136, right? See where the beginning comes over here, 136, all associated over here. And 1, 2, 3 does equal to 6. 1 through 15 equals to 120. 1 through 14 equals to 105. 1 through 13 equals to 91, equals to 78, equals to 66. 66 and 55 is where they divide. Freedom, Sky Pass, woman. Freedom, woman. 66, the 66 number of the Bible, to where when you add that up, divide 66 by 3, it becomes 3 by 22. 22 is what is ape. It's busting out. Where 2 and 2 becomes 4, equals to what is 12, equals to what is 3 again. The house of DC. It is 3 by 12 equals to 36 in the sun. 4 by 12, 3 by 12 equals to 36, and 4 by 12 equals to 48. And the total of this is 84, and this is Pluto, Sun. I'm never really sure what to use for 36. I don't have a number for 36. What I do have is it's mathematics, and it arrives at the word bet, 27. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6, or your 360 degrees of creation in the sun, comes out right over here. Or the Third Reich, 108. If you now go 3 by 36. So it's always multiplying by 3 or 4. 3 and 4. And Pluto gets the orange. They get the orange. I like to say the orange cone. When you drive your car and there's construction, and the construction gets the blue collar worker. So we take that construction blue collar worker, and we're going to see if we can do this. Show me Pluto the dog. He's wearing green.
He's wearing red. I want to see all the images, what he wears as a collar. He wears a red collar and a green collar and a blue collar. So where is it? He's wearing red in most of these, green here. So Pluto seems to be wearing all the collars. And he's that orange, the orange dog. And look, we've got Pluto at the moon, right? Or actually, they're talking about the dwarf planet. You see the way his face comes out over here. Pluto's playing golf. And then we have Goofy with the blue pants. Maybe he's the blue collar worker. And so that's what we have over here. We're going to put that down at the bottom. So we've done all of this. Now we're going to go what the average is. So the average between this one over here is 11. So 66 divided by 11 is 6. 1 through 12 equals to 78. 6 by 12, 78. Let me see this. 78 divided by 12 equals to 6.5. 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5. 171 divided by 18 equals 9.5. E-I-E-I-O. When you add 1 through 10, it equals to 5.5, and this one equals to 5. 4.54, 3.53, 2.52, 1.5, and is this 1 over here or 0? Did I get that right? 1 and 1 is 0. Look where 0 starts. 0 starts at 11. Just to start, where we're going to go K11, where we're going to go L12, we're going to go M13, we're going to go N14, we're going to go O15. And what this is, let me see, did I do this right? 11, 12, 14. Okay. And we're going to do P, elemental P, 16. So here's what we're going to do. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 1 equals to 3. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, 3 and 2 equals to 5. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, 3 and 4 equals to 7. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals to 4 and 5 equals to 9. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 is 6 and 5 equals to 11. And 1 times 6 and 1 plus 6 is 6 and 7 equals to 13. So this becomes 4, this becomes 2, 9, 7, 5, and 3. So now I'm going to go on to Q, 17 equals to 7 and 8 equals to 15 equals to 6. And it's just too bad that I have to go R, the first 18, the first half of 360 becomes 8 and 9 equals to 17 and equals to 8. 864 is the diameter of the sun, 86.4 million. 86.4, the minutes in a day. 3 times this is going to equal to what is 25,920 to the Mayan cycle. Divide this by 3. So now we have one more, which is going to be S19. And the S19 is going to equal to 9 and 10, or 9 and 1 equals to 10, equals to what is 1. So we had to start off. Just give me a second. So if you want to know just give me a second. I got allergies. So if you want to eliminate your prime numbers, you're going to come right over here. But this is not prime, this is not prime, this is not prime. But 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, right? 3 by 3 is 9, and that's not prime. So your prime numbers start over here. And then when they start not to be prime, you're now on the other side of the alphabet. The M and N split the alphabet to where the M is going to be female and the N is going to be male. This one, and it's going to be over here. Now, when you look at that, it's just ironic. And I like to speak into the camera and show you at the same time. It's hard to do both. That the 7 and 9 are very special. First of all, they're special in words. When you come to the month of September, the word I like to use French. When you use September, right?
is set to 7. September is the 9th month. The 7th gate to the 9th month, Earth at birth. So you have the 7th gate, which becomes the female, to where you have the sun as the male is born through the sun. But we always talk about the cycle of the moon, right, as the female cycle. And it just so happens that the numeric value for man, which is born through the moon, is number 28. So now we also know that your first number 1 is going to show up where man shows up, because it takes number 13, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3. When you do the extension of 13, it's going to create 19. So I'm going to just show you this here. This mathematically will end up coming back to create S. So this here, the female, will come back to create this and will be the heart of your heaven, because it's 1 in between here, right? Your AI. And 19 is the opposite side of the board. And it's also the word for spirit. 19, why? Because it's the second side of 360 that begins with your 1. And then your 2, okay, which is also a base prime, only begins when you end up with what is 11, that when you get to your 11 here, it ends up over here. So that when you end up with your 13 over here, it ends up over here. That when you end up with your 15 over here, this one ends up over here. That when you end up with your 18 over here for 17, the R ends up in the Q, RQ. And now you end up with all these numbers and the explanation through these numbers. To note that on the cube, the center of this cube is 3.5. The opposite is 6. Therefore, from 1 to 6 is a total of plus 5. Total of plus 5. Okay, fine. But to come to the average of 3.5, 3.5, right? To come to the average of 3.5, you need to use 2.5. 2.5, 2.5, the numeric value for Earth, plus 1, minus 6. 1.5 and 1.5, plus 2, minus 5. And 0.5 and 0.5, plus 3, minus 4. Equals to 3.5, 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 equals to 3.5. And that's your base. So in here you have 7, 6, let me see, 7, 6, and 5. This is your base. Where do I get this from? 5 and 2 is 7. 5 and 2 is 7. Where do I get this? It's right over here. So in this one, you get Earth. You get Earth in this one. 1 and 6, you get Earth. 5 and 2, you get Mars. So the numeric value of what is 5 and 2, I'm picking up Mars. Let me see, did I get that right? Let me see if I did that right. Did I do that right? Right. 1 and 5, I'm going to get Mars. 5 and 2, I'm going to get Earth. The minus and the plus is showing me Earth. Sorry, is showing me the half-life. This numeric value is for Earth. You notice the way this one over here is over here. And this 55 or 5 is in DC. I don't think I explained that right. I'm getting a bit tired. Where are we with this next? We did this, the 9 dots in the front. So in Earth, okay, we went 4 to the power of 2 and 3 to the power of 2 to create the Earth area. And in the birth area, birth for 9, 4 for Mars, we had 9 and 4 areas. The ring finger and the birth 9th finger. The other thing is we have 3 to the power of 2, and we have 2 to the power of 2. Ape, ram. Here we had 3 to the power of 2 and 4 to the power of 2. Here we're going to have your famous ID, right? And what's funny about that is they want to have the something something ID. Well, just note in French you have dimanche. And then the days of the week are
lundi. Look, Mars, mardi. You have mercredi, like credit. Then you have jeu, which means game, D. And then you have cooked eggs, vend or for sale, vendre, doctor, D. And then you have the same day, the day of rest, you have samedi, or 33, day of creation, because SAM is mass 33 in rotation. Yeah, sorry about that. Something I didn't finish, that in 13, the number 44, the number 55. 55 for 13, 44. TH is 28. IR is 27. 28 and 27 is 55 for time heaven. We also started to talk where between, I've never got the Fibonacci tonight, but I will get back to it, right? So where, did I get to write that out? Just give me a second. Let me just want to see something here. I just want to see, so just give me a second. So this, I think I have a mistake here. 13 plus 8 is 21. 1 plus 2 equals to 3. 6 and 8 is the division of the house of DC. Watch out for Hoover Dam. They do everything backwards. Yes, it's backwards and frontwards. Okay. Oh, I do know this to be true. I was almost ID in a very strange way, but nothing worked. So thinking of it be AI. The A is represented inside of E. The E in the card is inside of I. The A is inside of E and inside of C and inside of I. A, C, E, I. The A is in the C. So you have 1, 3, 5, 9. You have 1, 3, 5, and 9 that come together where the single dot is in its position. So I'm going to explain this little part. Everybody is left, so we're going to do it this way. We have first, we have second, we have third. Then we have 21st, 22nd, 23rd. So everything starts over here. So we're going to end up with 4th all the way to 20th. That's where we end up. That's where our gold, silver, and bronze end up both over here. That when you say 1 and 2 equals to 3, so you're going to say the silver and the bronze, the silver and the gold, right, equals to what is the bronze? 10-4-104 communication, JD. A, B, C, D equals J. JD communication, 10-4, October 4th, like we spoke earlier on in the video about the Messiah coming back. Take away 10 from this. Remember, start off at 4. Don't count the 10 because the game is baccarat. We do not count the 10. We do not count the 20 because the 10 and the 20 are relocated into what is 70 and 90. The telephone has 4 letters for both of it. Very different from everything else. The 7 and the 9. And also note that to make them perfect, you need the 3 and the 1, and that's your rotation and creation in the sun. 11 is your creation. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals 1 and 2 equals to 3. So you now have 1 and 2 or 2 and 1. The 21st letter is equal to U. The 12th letter equals to what is L3? 3 and 3. So they're all 3s. So your base creation of 3 and 3 is 6. So that's this area over here. Then we have 12 and 8, and that is 2 times 6. 2 plus 6 is going to equal to that. And then when you add that up and add that up, it equals to this. And that becomes this and this. Mathematically, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 2 and 1 equals to 3. This is 4 and 4 equaling to what is 8. This is what's going to give you your 24 hours a day broken up to 8 and 16 hours, or 8 and 7 and 8 and 6. This is where you divide in the gate. You divide the house and you live in between the gates. You're like prisoner in between the walls. Mars and Earth come together. What is this? Multiplication and addition come together, to where I've shown you before that when you use 6 and 8, or 3 and 3, you end up creating this design, the star system. Well, the division of this, okay, only has 3 lines. The turning of this only has 3 sides. When you put a 4th side, you lock it. So that's a stop, because 4 lines equals to 8. And then we're connecting like above is below. That can be where it's Venus. Venus equals to Mars. So now what happens here, also that is 21st, 31st, 41st. Now 51st is different. 61st, 71st, and now 81st. But this one is different because in French, they say 81. But in French, they say 20. They say 20. This is how they say 21, 31, 41, 51, 61, and 71. But in French, they say it together. And it shows up together right over here, where it's in rotation, 8 around 1. We also have to note that with 36 or 360, right? Because the first block is 10, right? So we have 360 degrees, okay? That we start at 60 and we end at 310. 310 to Yuma. That's where the alphabet is. And the first part of the alphabet and the last part of the alphabet are on the outside, and they may hook up together between 32 and 33 and 34. It might be the chain, it might be the link, right? And 36 equals to what is 20 and 150 equaling to 170 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals to 15. Add up to 15, it equals to 185. I have to think a little bit what this is all about. 185, 15, 6, 185. Hold on, I just want to see. I added up 15. Right. 266. Just want to leave it at that. I use it as a single digit. So I'm just trying to think what it does. It's a little bit late. I'm a little bit tired. So, and there's other things also. We have to bring numbers into rotation where they work with 1, 4, and 7, because our rotation of our months are 1, 4, and 7. To everything, yeah, I didn't finish that. I have to remember. I forgot. Now I remembered. So what's going to happen is, since we go from here over to here as our bookends, we go from here over to here of what's inside. When we add this together, it's 231. When we add this together, we end up taking off 22. This is 209. 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 equals to 9, equals to 20, equals to 29. 18 and 11, where K and R come together. The reverse is what is P and I to what is 29 to what is 79. the house of Bait, Jupiter, 13, birth, DNA. Now, what happens, okay, is you have first, second, and third. At fourth, it runs all the way to 20th. The thing about this is if we're working with 360 degrees, okay, I am not centered over here at this. I'm not going to center it. What also happens is 18 is the end of one side. It's the end. So we go 4 through 18, and then on the next side, you end up with 19, and then you end up with 20. And 19 and 20, 1 plus 9 equals to 10, equals to 1, 2 plus 0 equals to 2. So you're back to alpha, beta, and the beginning of your silver and gold begins at 19 and 20 in the TH house, in time heaven. And then once you get to 21st, you go back to gold again. You end up with gold, silver, gold, silver, bronze, and then at 24, you end up in the TH house, and it's the dividing gate. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, the dividing gate of 6 and 8, the divine gate, 4, 5, and 6, letter M, 1,000, 10 times 10 times 10, or your base 30 creation. That in bowling, in the 10th frame, is where we have the first 30, and we have to go bowling backwards. $19, 31, I think this is 20, 31, 40, 56, 16 and 9, 25, 35, 36, 37, 38, 48, 54. Did you get that right? Is that right? 3, 4, 24, 25, and 16. It's 41, 50, 62, 63, 73, 81. Is that right? Did I get that right? 16, 25. Oh, I didn't get the 8. Right. 1 and 16 is 17, and 9 is 26, 36, 7, 38, 39, 49, 57. So we now have an A pillar. We have 57, the moon, dividing also as well in the moon, and 72 in the house of Bait. Caterpillar, 81. Is that correct? Did I mark that wrong? Let me see. 3, let me see. 18, 19, 31, 40, 56, 57, 67, 77. Yeah, 81. So that's right. We got the caterpillar at 81. Pillar, oh, you want to add another 12, you'll get to 93. If you add another 12, we're into Saturn. Anyways, we're going to end the video. Time for bed, 1:30, 1:40 in the morning. I'm sorry I didn't get the Fibonacci. I called for it. I might have to change the name. Just know that DEF 4, 5, and 6, Federation, definition, DE and F. It separates Zion, Israel, 4 and 6, 6 and 9. FCUK, right there, way far out. Yes. Next time we're going to be back. Share the videos. We have the knowledge. We need to create a program that I can enter these 19 years and all the information that's all around the planet to show the story that it tells, and that will be the story that it tells, everything that's ever been created. Remember, if you wanted to recreate a system and you wanted to find out information, what would you do? I'll tell you what I would do. I'd make many of me's, big me's and small me's and all kinds of me's. And I'd study how every single one of me lives and we'd share all this with a central system so I can understand which is the best way of living. And don't forget, I'm going to also have to make sure that I'm going to give free will to everybody. And by giving free will to everybody, I'm also going to learn how much to give and how much not to give before you start to interfere with all the other ones of me.
And then I say, hold on a second. Now that I learned everything and just about everything, and I keep repeating, I'm not getting very much new. I need something outside the box to come into my world so we can share, so I can learn with all of me and all of them of who they are. All of, if they're many and all the same, it doesn't really make a difference. And I enter others into the game before I say hello, goodbye, and see you later. Reptilian alligator is what they used in the 60s. This year, we are 60 years from the 60s in 1963, ABC creation 1963. In 6 more years, you will be the end of that creation. In the year 2029, it ends. 49, number 49. But nothing ends at the end. You must remove 3 years. So instead of ending at 49, you have to end where you began, and that number is 36, where the gateway is 77. 36 or 63. Why 63? Just because it works out. 7 times 7, 49. 7 plus 7, 14 in the sun, the DNA in the sun. 49 and 14 equals to 63. Where it began is number 3 for creation. 63, the word 11 equals to 63.
The word 11 equals to 63, but we're going to mark it off as 53, where the gateway is 24 because we have the repetitive of the E. So we're going to go 48, and then we're going to add on each one of the E's. 48 is the word sun. 11 equals to 63, or 911. So you have 911. K 11 9. Well, you might read it as that word, but it's not. That's a 9. And this is an 11. It's not an L. This is 9, right? So this is what you get. Let me see where else we are. 9, 11, 11. I'm just trying to think. Wow, I went off what I was thinking. Where am I right now? Keto Shim, LL Yon 40. Yes. Okay, so yes. So 1963 and 60. Since we have to end at 66, right? Because we began between 4, 5, and 6. So when we end at 66, right? Instead of being 66, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I'm going to go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So over here, I'm going to end up with 24. Then I'm going to end up with 17. And then I'm going to end up with 24. So I'm going to end up with 686. And that's where we divided the house. Unless you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We end up with 10, 5, 10, or 1, 5, 1. We divided the house in Mars. Now, all the Roman numerals, right? M, 1, D, 5, C, 1, L, 5, X, 1, V, 5, and I, 1. Why did I mark this? 1,000, 1 plus 0, 1. 500, 5 plus 0, 5. C, 100, 1 plus 0, 1. So the story is over here, and this is where everything divides. 3 and 4. What is half of 3? 1.5 and 2. And what is, when you add them up, it becomes 3.5, and then it divides inside the cube, and there's a whole bunch of math that's going to go along with that. I think we're going to end the video over here
After that short explanation. And another thing is that 6 times 8, 6 plus 8 is going to equal to 48, and 14 equals to 62. So you're going to have a 62 and 62, 124. But anyways, you're going to have 62 and 62. 62 and 62, 124. It becomes 62 and 62 becomes 88. At the same time, 62 and 26 equals to what is 88. That's where your gate comes in. But I'm going to multiply. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 plus 2 is 8, equaling to 20. So now we're going to end up with 2020 when everything ends. And when you have 12 and 8, 1 and 2 is 3. You now have 3 and 8. So that's where 3 is 1 times 1, 1 plus 1, and 8 is 2 times 2, 2 plus 2. And that's where everything starts in alpha beta creation. And anyways, thank you for watching this video. I hope I was able to explain it. And, you know, add-ons and leap years are something else. Also to note, subscription service, explain that, please. Have you ever heard a machine with a kill switch? Here we are. I have to go to bed. A lot of information. I didn't finish with the Fibonacci, in which I wanted to explain that there's another way. Let me go back. Okay, yeah, I was doing this over here, right? And what happens if you would divide like 88 divided, like here you have 1 second. Oh no, not this one here. Okay, we're gonna go to, so if we go like 144, and this is another one. You see 1 and 7 equals to 8. Well, the 8 and 9, 89 is, it's 8, and then the next number is 89. They're not together. So if you divide 89 by 55, 80, let me see. 89 divided by 55 equals to 1.618181818. So 1 equals to 34.7, right? And 1 equals to 34.7, 6 equals to 52.7. Then it becomes, I'm just going to do this on paper and show you, then we're going to end the video. Okay, it becomes like this: 1.61818. So this equals to 7. This equals to 7. This equals to 7. This equals to 4. This equals to 7, and this equals to 7. That's what this answer is. 1 7 7 7 4 7 7 7 2. Did I get that right? Ooh, I have a 6 there, right? 2 5 2 8 2 5 2 8. Now let me do this. I'm going to continue on. You see, I got it done over here. 3 4 3 in the house of DC. 7 times 7 times 7, 343. 7 7 7 21 equals to 364. 28 times 13 equals to 364. 1 4. This will end up creating this one over here is the IR, born, I think it's into the sun or into the moon, but I'm too tired to continue. What I did here is, in reality, I'm going to ask myself the question: should I begin this in my rainbow? Because these two are not repeated again, but these are repeated again. So what would I do to complete this? Well, should I stop here? But it didn't repeat down here yet. Where did I get these numbers from? The value of 1 is 34. So that's 3 and 4 is 7. The value of 6 is 52. We end up with 86. We end up with the house. So the value of 8 is 49. When you have the 9, and so this ends up to be 36. So that becomes the value of, 8 becomes 49. 4 and 9 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. So that's how I ended up doing my rainbow this way. And then this is going to tell me 19 and 19. You multiply that, it becomes 10 and 9, or 19 again. So we're just going to end up putting 11, and that's your base creation. 11, 11. 11, 11 creation. 25, 2552 creation. Earth's creation of Mars pods. Anyways, I'm going to end it here. I hope I was understood. Let me see. 2020, leap year plus, subscription service, next year starting now. Yes, Next year starts next week. In 2 weeks, the Hebrew New Year is going to start the new cycle. 89, 55, 16, 18, 18, 18. The crisscrossing of 360 degrees is 19 and 18. 19 and 18, R and S. 18 is the sun. 19 is the moon. And the sun and the moon connect. When we get to 17, 17 and 20 come together. And that is where the cycle of man comes in between the sun and the moon. There's more artwork to come. Space-time equals to 91. Excellent. AC/DC 777. Ayers, Sunny Moon Rainbow, Ruler 777. 11 in a nutshell. Basically, yes. 2552. When that becomes 2552 or 5 and 5, when you multiply it and you add it, becomes 8, becomes 282. So that's the cycle of man. When you add it, becomes 212. But what you do it to the left and then do it to the right, you end up with 17, 28, 17. Let me see that again. 530. You end up, yeah. No, you end up with 8. I'm just going to use 8. So you end up with 17, 8, 17. 17 is 8. Let me show you this how I do it. You end up with 2552. 5 times 5 becomes 25, and 10 equals to 35 equals to 8. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 plus 2 is 7, becomes 17. 1 and 7 equals to 8. And the same thing, 7 and 10 is 17 equals to 8. You have 888. And that's how that base is done. Now, if we want to go the 97447, so you're going to have 11, 11, or you're going to have so since you have 2552, which ended up to be 8, 17, 17, which equals to 8 and 8. And if you want to take it to another level, you're going to do 15. And then you're going to end up with 686. So that, again, is going to divide the gate of DC. Now, when you invert it to 9 to fill the gaps, you're going to end up with this. So here, you're going to end up with, there's another level to this, right? 25 is also, you can note it to be 7. So again, it's going to talk about the 8. 5 plus 5 equals to what is 1. You can use any one of these three. I can't show them to you all now. I'm not enough paper or time or my mind. So here I'm going to do a full cycle. This becomes 39, and this becomes 39, and this becomes 24. So I end up with 3, 6, 3. So my rotation is in the sun. So with this, I'm going to end up with 27 and 27. Now I'm going to use all three of these together. 9, I'm going to use 3 by 6 is 18. 3 times 6 is 9. By 3 is 27. 27 plus 12 equals to 39. I'm going to end up with 939 inside of this. And then further on into this, I'm going to end up with, I'm going to end up again with 39 and 39. And then in the center, I'm going to end up with 81, 243, 243, and 253, 263, 264. So I'm going to end up with 3, 3, 3. 6 and 4 is 10, and 2. Let me see if I did this right. 9 times 9 is 81 times 3 is 243. 243 and 21, 253, 263, 264. You add them up together, and they all equal to 3s. You do this one more time, I get 15. 3 times 3 is 6 and 9, 15. I end up with 15, right? Then I go 3 by 3 by 3 is 27. Plus 9 is 36. Becomes 9. I end up with 696. So it's always going to reverse back to the same thing inside the house. And Tesla said in the vortex, it's all 3, 6, and 9. Anyways, there's a ton more. I'm never really 100% in order, but that's what it is. Cats and dogs, my friend. Cats and dogs. How we communicate, how we argue. Your my sense of humor, or you're talking about Tammy, or you're talking about our feline friends? What you doing there, buddy? You keeping everything? You're under the lights. Let me see. Are you okay? You okay? You okay? Hey, you okay? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Is that good? Oh yeah, keep it clean. You don't like that, eh? You don't like that? Okay, I am fried. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to end this right now. But life is poetry in motion. If you ever heard of deacon, if you switch the word deacon around, it's dance. So deacon is part of what the zodiac does. That's where the name comes from. It's a zodiac dance. It's a pinball where everything is sent around however the system is actually made, only so that when you are born, we always have a connection through that zodiac. Now, I'm thinking that we were born into an altar planet, and without the zodiac, we couldn't keep up with the spirit. Therefore, we wouldn't be able to attain life or communication in this world, since it is the altar world. So that's why we marry the female or marry the two triangles coming together. This is one of the things of what's going on right now with the rainbow, is because we have to come back in time to how everything was taken apart, because we're moving on, I believe, according to the numbers, into a new system. And unless we accept the new system will not come to us. Like a beaver blocking a dam. And one of the things about that is the dam is the nickel, because the beaver or the Canadian or American nickel both look like the same thing, like it's a dam. They both look like beaver dams. And in the nickel, which is the sky pass, the dime is the sailboat, what is above. So the nickel represents what is above and what is below, and the boat is what goes above. Then there's the reindeer, and let me put this up here. I'm just trying to think more about 5 cents. Five represents 9. 9 and 5 come together. The numeric value for 5 and 9 are the same, and it's the same numeric value for the cat, which separates the house of 8 and 6. The stop sign is 8. So if the stop sign is 8, what's the opposite of 8? It's 6. So the 6 is go. Go is 22. Go is 8. Everything keeps reverting back to our life comes from 8. Even when you play blackjack, they're screaming for monkey. Now, it doesn't matter if you get 22 or 26, because that's the 22 or 30, because you can always pull on a 20 to get 30, right? You can even get 31 with an ace, 10, 10, or 1, 1, and 1, which is the center of roulette. And I'm going all over the place right now. We're going to end it. I really don't want to leave. I hate to leave when I have a chest pain. Just give me a minute. I just think it's gas. Plus, I have allergies. How you doing, Mr. Cat? I want to put a shout out to Michelle. Peace. And we got to download these videos. We got to share them. We got to find a way. You know, somebody looking for what is the word of creation. Well, I think we have it working together. I think we have all the numbers. I think we have all the information that can put this together, that can finalize the truth through the words that we speak, that has been in the dictionary through the beginning of time, to tell the story, the story of life. And the story of life through games and arts and entertainment, because what this channel is all about, it's not about what the true story is, because nobody knows the true story, but we do know that every word we speak are the words that have been heard, the words that are here, the words that have been written, and that is the truth. If we are the children of the Creator, or if the Creator replicated itself, then everything is in a larger conscience. For everything that the Creator knew is coming out through the mouths of men and women around this world. Thank you for watching this video. Peace and love. Say goodnight. Say goodnight, cat. Say goodnight. Say goodnight. This is the way we have to end it, right? CAT, cat.